So what's with the two-state solution? Is the two-state solution the only solution to peace in the Middle East? Or is it the definition of insanity, something which you've tried before and now you're expecting different results? You know, politicians and statesmen speak about the two-state solution as if this is the only way. But hear it from a former terrorist, a former Hamas terrorist whose picture will appear on the screen in a live interview here in front of a live studio audience in Israel, how he talks about what will happen if Hamas is given autonomy, if they're given autonomy in Gaza, what would two-state solution actually look like? This is fascinating. Take a look.
מי צריך לשלוט בעזה?
אין שליטה בעזה, כל השליטה הביטחונית, אם היא תשתחרר מהישראלים, אז אנחנו נקבל מוות יותר ויותר.
אז ישראל צריכה לשלוט?
ישראל חייבת לשלוט שם. אני מבקש, יש לי משפחה עצומה שם, ויש לי אנשים, אני אוהב אותם כמו הילדים שלי, וכמו נמצאים שם. אני מבקש, בבקשה, אסור לתת להם שליטה ביטחונית, כי כל עוד אתה ניתן להם שליטה ביטחונית, הם כובשים קודם כל את העם שלהם, מתעוללים בעם שלהם. אתם ראיתם ב7 באוקטובר, ב-2007, שחמאס התחילו להרוג את הערבים.
Just yesterday, Israel released intelligence of intercepted conversations within the Hamas leadership early on in the war in December of 2023, how the Hamas was running out of supplies. They were running out of, there wasn't humanitarian aid yet coming into Gaza. And they were threatening Mohammed Dayef and Yahya Sinwar about how they were going to rebel against them, how these leaders were hiding like rats under the tunnels while the rest of the Hamas terrorists were being exposed to danger. So what happened was is that the Hamas leadership actually intimidated their subordinates by sending hooligans to beat their wives, to beat the wives of these Hamas terrorists who were being insubordinate, who were threatening a mutiny, threatening to rebel, because this is the modus operandi of the Hamas, is that they rule by intimidation. And indeed, it's time to free Palestine. It's time to free the Arabs from the rule of tyranny, which is absolutely destroying their lives with a reign of terror that is forcing them to submit to a lifestyle that they don't actually want. Let's hope and pray that this voice, which is so refreshing, this voice of a former terrorist whose image with his terrorist days was broadcast on the screen, represents a turning point for the Arabs, where they're moving away from this narrative of destruction and death, from this death cult which is being imposed upon them, where they themselves are rejecting this rule of tyranny from the Hamas terrorists themselves, where they say, no, it's time for us to have a Jewish rulership. I remember when I was in Jerusalem about a year ago, we took a taxi from the old city to the center of Jerusalem, and it was an Arab taxi driver that was driving us, and he said to us, we asked him where he lives. He says he lives in Bethlehem, which is in what they call what is Judea and Samaria, what they call the occupied West Bank. And we said to him, so what is your preference? Do you want a two-state solution? And he said, no, I don't want to live in Palestine. I want to live in Israel, he says. I want to live in Israel. I right away took out my phone. I wanted to record what he had to say. And he says, no. You can't record what I'm saying because they'll kill me, he said. They'll kill me. When we live in Israel, he says, we have health care, we have safety, we have protection, we have normal lives. But if we live in Palestine, then they intimidate us, they scare us, they take our children, and they force us into a life of terrorism. Let's hope and pray that we are on the cusp of a new era, a cusp of peace in the Middle East, where we're leading through peace, where peace is created through strength, not through weakness and not through concessions.